All right. Welcome to the last day of Ether Raid. We're taking on Cypher for this week. Is this Cypher? Yeah. Cypher, like Bill Cypher. And we're going to go in with Summer Fjorm. Just close out the week strong. I could have tried to make this a little bit more complicated. We went with the hit and run team, but there really was no reason to. Fjorm got this. We're just going to send her up there, and she's going to take care of the threats. Yeah, all in all, pretty successful week, I will say. Very happy that the team that I made in the middle of the week worked out. Or surprise, well, probably not surprising, the fact that I actually had to use it, because that defense type, or this defense type, because yeah, it's the same map, just different units, is pretty common now. So you definitely want to have some type of counter to it. These units, however, aren't like the most threatening for Fjorm specifically. Probably some other units could get through this as well, because they aren't fully kitted out here, so there are a lot of gaps. But yeah, definitely want to have a counter to a setup like this, is basically what I'm saying. So we're just gonna rally Fjorm up, send her out there, and she will do the job from there.
Here I go.
Kind of disappointed, on the other hand, with how defense turned out. Not that I actually had a defense. Like I said, in the middle of the week, like not even in the middle, in the early part of the week, I literally had to scrap the entire defense, because this Freyr came through with Peony and soloed my entire defense. And I was like, this doesn't look good. Basically, it was Sanaki with just a couple other threatening units. I didn't put the catcher ball there because Sanaki didn't need it. But then also, I didn't realize that, or not realize, I didn't remember that Peony could completely neutralize everything that Sanaki does. And all you had to do was just be solo, which Freya is very good at. Freya is very good at being solo. Kind of like what Fjorm's doing here, but one more space up. So if you take that extra space, it pretty much cancels out all the debuffs. And basically it's just down to color triangle versus how many buffs you can put on a unit, versus the fact that Freya steals buffs with her binding necklace, so she gets stronger depending on how strong you are. And the fact that she has damage reduction now, and the fact that she had, well, that specific one was plus 10 and a bunch of merges, so it really just didn't work out in my favor. The biggest challenge that I had was trying to find someone to partner with Sanaki, and I figure like what it really boils down to is that there just aren't strong enough nukes, which is crazy to say. There aren't strong enough nukes in the game yet.
Here I go.
Particularly for light dark season. The nukes are not strong enough. I'm probably saying that because I don't have Wind Tribe Claude, who I think would have been a better pairing for Sanaki, because red-green, you cover more bases that way. But really, it would boil down to you just using 2 units, and that's not fun. A lot of what we were doing up until now was very reliant on having Katria support, because a lot of units 1 versus 1, they typically don't get the kill against most Omni tanks or just threats in general. It takes a lot more to kill the units that you see on offense these days than just sticking your nukes out there and hoping for them to win. There has to be some kind of counterplay or intuitive traps involved in the defense building these days. It's not just a catcher ball. There's more going on there. And ultimately, what we were really benefiting from was the brave hits, which everybody, I think, pretty much realized. That's why catcher balls were so threatening, plus the range. Well, not necessarily the range, it really was the brave hits. And with that gone, I think I said this before, there just aren't enough units in the game that make up for that gap. The brave hits being gone, there aren't enough units that do brave very well. Ather here is probably an example of a unit that doesn't do brave very well. She just doesn't have the attack stat for it. Brave weapons typically tend to have lower might. Soren comes to mind, but I'm not a big fan of Soren. He just doesn't. I'm literally saying he doesn't hit hard enough, which is a problem. So yeah, I really don't think the game was ready for Catcher to be gone, which is why they made it a skill instead of a specific unit. Probably one of the reasons. But also, it worries me for the type of nukes that they're going to put in the game to make up for the fact that Catria is facing this decline. Because in the top tiers, as you can see, like since I've gotten to like tier 36, it's pretty much just been this Cav line, and it's not something that I don't think you're really going to see a lot of it anymore. So to make up for it, they're going to have to put really strong nukes out, and we haven't gotten them yet. I think we only have Sanaki and Wind Tripod. Aside from that, everything else you can pretty much handle with the save balls or the Omni tanks that are currently in the game. So I'm kind of worried for how strong Goveg will be to counter that, to balance that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Goveg and Kvaser that are going to be the mythic legendary duo, unless they pull one out of their ass and do a weird thing, but I'm pretty sure those are going to be the two pairings. So yeah, man, I hope they don't push it too far, because you don't want a unit that can solo the entire game, kind of like what Veronica was doing when she just came out. But also, it's kind of needed if you want to make up for the lack of the brave hits. It's a difficult balance that IS has to make up for, and they aren't doing a very good job, in my opinion, of straddling that line. They, as Joe likes to put it, they like to sell us a solution to a problem that they've created, and I don't know, they're going to sell us a solution at the end of the month. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried about how strong the new nukes are going to be. Yeah, I don't know if the game's ready for it, but we'll see. We'll just have to try to figure it out in this ever-evolving landscape. GG's. See you in the next one.